Alrighty guys, so I figured it would be really cool to do a get ready with me where I'm trying out quite a bit of the new makeup that I have picked up in the last couple of months, and I'm just gonna try and kind of go through, like I said, all of them. This is all first impressions. I have not tried any of this makeup except for one product, which is a powder blush, so you know, it's pretty easy to figure out if you like or don't like the powder blush off bat. I will be filling in the holes with my project pan items, such as my face primer. I don't have an extra face primer, so I'm gonna go ahead and use the one that is in my project pan. At the point of uploading this video, 2 out of the 3 project pans will be made live, so you guys can watch them if you're interested, and I will do my best to also have them linked down below. I have available my my eyeshadow project pan and my makeup project pan, so you'll see some of these more makeupy products that I will be using. I will also have down below my nail polish. It is one that I put on recently, so it actually doesn't look chipped, and it is from KV Shimmer, and it is Take a Bow, but BOUGH. So really liking this color. I've gotten quite a few compliments at work, so yeah, and if you're interested, I'll just try to link as much as I can down below. Okay, as you can see, the wig cap is on, so the wig will be going on at the end of the video. So first impression product that I'm going to be going into is an actual brow glue. I figured it would be cool to try this with you guys to see how good it actually does with holding my brows in place the way I want it, because as much as I like the ABH, my brow hairs do sink even prior to me putting on the color. This is from NYX, and this is the brow glue. This was highly raved about by, I think her name is now Batty Bean. She used to be Butte Bean here on YouTube, and because she does not rave about a lot of like extra products, I figured it would be interesting to try this out. So far my brows look very laid back. It doesn't feel super gloopy, and it didn't have an excess amount of product on there. Also, the brush was really small, so I did appreciate that. And yeah, we'll just see. Okay, so not fully prepared per usual. I'm actually just going to go ahead and probably throw away this sponge, or maybe I'll clean it up. Let me go ahead and clean and wet my sponge, and then we're going to get into the product that I am going to try and use for both concealer and foundation. Alrighty, so I went ahead and wet my sponge, and I showed you guys in my last haul, I got a sampler set of the Danessa Myricks Vision Cream cover, and she says that you can use it both as a foundation and a concealer, and since I don't have a new of either and I have this sampler kit, I figured I would try and figure out what shade I would potentially use for myself. Just looking at the packs and looking at me, I think I'm gonna stick with this middle row, but let's see. So I think I'm not necessarily, I don't consider myself a warm undertone. I consider myself a neutral undertone, but we're going to open up. Let's see if I can break this apart. Okay, I put the others ones back in their cubby in case I want to give it to a friend or something. Okay, so this is the warmer of the two, and this is the more neutral one. So I am going to open up the warmer one because I think the depth is right. Maybe not. Let's see. Let us open this up, and once again, this is shade W05. Wouldn't that dictate that this is lighter? But this looks darker. Let's try it. Let's try it. I'm gonna take what's on the little white mark, and we're gonna swatch it down here. Maybe that's not the best case, but these two are way too dark for me. So I'm probably like somewhere in the 08 section. Yeah, she has 108. That's probably what I am. Figures. Okay, what we're gonna do let's try and make this work because I'm already invested at this point. I'm going to take product from the 05 section. Okay, I put that on the tip of my sponge, and I'm just going to apply it all throughout. Okay, yes, we know it's not the right color. Don't worry. There's also a fragrance to this, which I am not happy with. I'm trying to stick away from fragrances, especially on my makeup. This is also a thick product. Pretty thick product. Okay. So the camera is helping in this manner because this is nowhere near my color, nowhere near, but it's okay. What I'm gonna try and do now is mix a little bit of the neutral undertoned one into this look, if I can break it off. Okay, so then what I'm gonna pick, so I opened up W05. Now I'm gonna open up N09, and I'm gonna try and kind of mix it on my face. With how thick this product is, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to mix it on my face, but we're gonna try and see if it will layer. So this darker shade is honestly closer to something that I would normally pick up. Ooh, okay, so it just literally covered that other shade. Oh my, okay. Okay. So I would say that this is like high, medium, full coverage amount of product, or amount of coverage, yeah, that this product gives, and this is with a sponge, so that tells you something. But we will keep going. Okay. Whew, got my hand hurting. I would not apply this product with the sponge again, honestly. I would just recommend applying with a brush, but that's I think I can pull off this darker shade a lot better. So I guess it just looks darker than it applies. And so this one is N09. That is the shade that I have fully covered on my face. And it just blends more, or at least it looks to blend better in my viewpoint with my complexion. But like I said, I truly did not think that it was my shade based on how deep it looked in the packaging. So that's good to know, very good to know. So yeah, I have that, and I do still have quite a bit of product left, so I will probably go ahead and continue working on that product to see, you know, how I like it, how I don't. Concealer wise, maybe what I'll do is go back into that warmer toned one that I used under my eye, even though I don't truly think that I need any more coverage, but it might be nice just to add a little bit of kind of highlighting situation. So I'm just gonna take the tip of my sponge one more time and just add 2 little dots in the areas that I generally like to conceal. Okay, and then I'm just gonna go through, and hopefully it will blend in and not kind of overtake what I have in those areas, you know? I think this is going not bad. And this is with low-key 3 layers of that vision cream on. I will say my skin looks flawless, absolutely flawless, which makes sense because Danessa Myricks, her complexion when she does looks are always flawless. So it really does look very nice coverage, but I would say this is a lot of coverage for me personally, especially throughout the day. And like a normal day, this is a lot of coverage, and I actually hot scratch it. I need to go out today. So this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be a fun day. Anyways, full coverage in my opinion. Alrighty, now let's go into my cream bronzer. I'm gonna be using the ABH cream bronzer in the shade Hazlenut. I've been really excited to try this product. I've been hearing nothing but great things. So I'm just gonna do how I normally do. I put it on the side of my sponge and I just apply when I'm using a sponge. I do tend to go back and forth between sponge and brush, but I do intend to clean my brushes today. So this is where we're going for right now. Okay. I didn't apply a lot, but what I will say is that that easily blended in. You can see where the bronzer is, but it's not stark. It's not really hard for it to kind of blend into my complexion. Additionally, I think because this is more of a, I would say, not as pigmented in a good way, it may just kind of go into the background of this such pigmented base product. But I can only imagine what this base would look like with Danessa's cream bronzer, and I do have that. I do tend to put my cream blush on after I powder, so that's what I'm personally gonna do. So let me go ahead and powder all of this stuff down. I don't have any new powders to date. That's just not an area that I'm really trying to increase. I actually want to decrease the amount of powders I have. So I am going in with my Essence Brighten Up in the shade Peach Me Up. What I will say is my under eyes are looking a little heavy. It might be because, once again, I do have technically 3 layers of product in that general area, and that is 1 layer more than I typically do. And these under eyes aren't looking the best. And now I just feel like this foundation is not looking the best, period, at all. Let me see. You see, it just, I don't know, it doesn't look as good as it did before. I should have zoomed in like this before so you guys could really see. I don't know, I might be being particular. We'll see. We still have some time to see how it all comes together. I am just gonna go ahead and set my cream bronzer with my powder bronzer. This is once again a Project Pan product, and it is my e.l.f. Primer Infused Blush in Always Spicy, in case you are wondering. And all of these products will be down below for you guys, as I always try to do. Okay, so I'm not in love with my base anymore. I really loved it pre-set. It's not terrible, but I'm not as in love. It definitely, you can see that I have makeup on. Like, it looks makeup-y. There's a lot of product on my skin. Once again, that could literally be because I did not realize that these vision creams wouldn't necessarily mix as I thought they would when I already applied them. I should have mixed them prior to applying them, and I honestly should have known that by seeing how Danessa does her makeup. She does always tend to mix on a palette or on the back of her hand before she applies to her models. I guess I thought I was better than her for those 2 seconds, and I got a rude awakening. What I'm gonna do is go ahead and spray. Maybe that will help to kind of diffuse some of this extra makeup mess into my skin. I really want it to seep into my skin a little bit better. Then I am gonna just go ahead and do my brows. I don't have anything else new for my brows other than that that gel, so I'm gonna use my ABH brow pencil. Then I am going to come back for you guys to see the rest of the look, because I still need to do my cream blush, my highlighter, all of that jazz, and my eyes. So I'll be back in just a second. Alrighty, sorry if there's even less sun. The sun is moving currently. It is early in the morning, but you know how the sun moves until a certain time, so it's just keeps peeking across. Okay, so I have now done my brows. I did put on my highlighter. Let's put on my cream blush. So I'm using the ABH cream blush in Peach Caramel. It should be like a nudie tone. So the way I like to use cream blush, I like to just warm it up on the back of my hand and then apply it via a brush onto my cheeks. So that is what I'm going to do. And I don't really see anything, so let's try. Don't necessarily like this method, but let's just try it. Going straight on to my cheeks. Now this is a very nudie tone, so this is going to be kind of hard to detect, I feel like, until I get it to a certain level. And I do think that it is on there, and it's very nudie. It is very nudie, which is what I wanted. I did not want something super bright. I found that looking in my cream blush collection, I did not have something to this extent, and this is what I wanted. And I also wanted to try the formula, so I'm not mad at it at all. I think it works. I'm not mad. I'm not mad. And we'll see how good it does. I do tend to set my cream blushes with powder blushes. It's just what I do. And so for today's powder blush, I'm actually going to go in with, like I said, a new blush, and this is in Calyx. This is from Lethal Cosmetics. I haven't shown you guys the eyeshadows on camera, but you know, they're coming. They're coming. But I figured I could show you guys at least the blush today. So I am just going to use the brush that I've been using lately for my more nudie toned blush, and we're just going to apply this on top of that cream and see how it blends, see how it wears, all of that. If nothing, honestly, I really do like that cream blush as just a base. I think it did a really good job, and I think that it's allowing this powder blush to be more impactful. Not that it wasn't impactful by itself, because it was, but I just feel like I don't have to put as many layers on, and it just looks more seamless. It looks more skin-like because of that cream blush being under it rather than being so powdery. So I am very happy with that cream blush. It is going to be interesting looking a little bit finer in detail. Some of my highlighter, which is more of a glittery highlighter, did seep into that cream blush when I was applying it right on my face, I'm sure, and when I was blending it out. So I do need to be more careful of that. Maybe put that highlighter on after I put the cream blush on. But so far, not really mad. And I'm liking now where the foundation has kind of settled. I feel like it's settled a little bit more into my skin. It looks a little bit more skin-like. It definitely does look like I have foundation. It's definitely, in my opinion, a high coverage foundation, but it does not look as like on my skin. It looks like it's more a part of my skin right now, which I do appreciate. So we're getting into the weeds. We're getting into the weeds of things, and let's go ahead and have some fun with this Natasha Denona eyeshadow base. I have tried it once, literally really late at night, and that's why I did like a video. I did something associated with the makeup tutorial that I had the eyeshadow on with this look, because I put a whole face on and I wasn't expecting it. So anyways, this I probably put on way too much. I didn't know, trying to get used to this primer. As you can see, like I said, this is pretty much the first time that I've used this. And I'm just going to do both eyes because this is going to be a very quick and subtle look. I'm not going to have a lot of intricate detail going on with it, and you'll see why when I show you the palette. So I definitely have way too much on, and I only put what, 3 swipes on each side, so I definitely, I guess, need to go down to 2. It's not super sticky primer, which is good. Sometimes I find that primers can be too sticky, and that messes up with the application of the product, but I don't find that that feels sticky on my eyes. And we are going to be playing with the Colored Rain the Colored Rain Rebellious Nudes palette. So I'm going to be working with some of those tones that I was just really attracted to. So I think first what I want to go into is I Do What I Want, which is pretty much a caramel shade. There's like very little brown in that shade, so that's what I want to be my crease color. And this is just a fluffy Eddie Funkhauser brush, in case you are wondering. Or not fluffy, this is the Fluffy Large, I think is the actual distinction name. It's the large Eddie Funkhauser blending brush. This is a really, really pretty shade. Really pretty shade. I'm really happy so far with that. The pigmentation's nice, and I'm not having problems blending. Very pretty. Wow. Honestly, I could do a one-tone look with this being pretty much the only thing in on my eyes. I really like this shade. Okay, let's move on. I think next what I want to do is go into the shade Grown Up Things right under it. Let's try that. I got a slightly smaller blending brush, but it's still pretty big, just because I want this to still be seen when I close my eyes and when my eyes are open. Ooh, what is that? Do you see that? Okay, hold on. Can we zoom in anymore? Don't think we can. Okay, I zoomed in and I put my autofocus on for you guys. So, ooh, what is that? Do you see how it went to like a black? Maybe I have something on the brush. Let's regroup. Let's regroup. Because that, no. Okay, so let me go back into I Do What I Want. Let's put that there. Okay. And then I'm cleaning the brush off again. Going into Grown Up Things. Okay, so maybe I had something on my brush. I don't know if that's me or this. I don't know, y'all. Let's try and cover that up. I really don't like whatever is going on in the front half of that. I don't like it at all. It's like every time I try and blend out that Grown Up shade, that happens. So I'm just going to pack the Grown Up shade in that outer area, which it looks more like a burgundy than a red. And then I'm just going to take the I Do What I Want and just apply it on the outside. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. Wow. Okay, so we're going to take the same brush that had Grown Up Things and we're going to do the exact same thing on this eye. I am just going to start off how I started off with that other eye, with blending. Now if it happens on this eye, then it's not me, it's definitely the product. it is happening on this eye, not to the extent that it happened on the other eye. But you see that? You see how it's so much darker? I don't know. I don't know if I like that. And it looks more like a red than the brown that it's supposed to look. Okay, so we're just gonna, oh, Lord have mercy. Okay, we're gonna go back into I Do What I Want, and we're just going to clean this up. Okay, we're gonna clean it up, and we're gonna just put I Do What I Want just on the outside. So this is just gonna be sitting out here, parked, and we will figure something out later. Cause no. Okay, so that's interesting. Okay. I'm thrown about. I'm completely thrown about. Okay, so let's get an even smaller blending brush, and at this point I'm just a glutton for punishment. There's no other way around it. So I am going to go into the shade Who Gon' Check Me, which is supposed to be a black, and let's see what this comes out as. I have a really small blending brush, and we are going to okay, so it looks like it is a black. I'm not having problems with this one. I'm just gonna blend that black out with the second brush that we had, just so it kind of blends in on that outer corner. Okay. We're gonna take some of that like burgundy-ish brown and just, once again, just try and offset that black just a little bit. Okay, so I definitely brought the black up a little bit more on that left eye than I did this right eye, but that's okay. I can bring it up, no problem then. All right, so whoo child, that was a lot. That was a lot. Now let's just go ahead and get something on my lid, and I am going to go ahead and lay down some NYX glitter glue, as I've been doing with all of my shimmers. So I do want to give it the same amount of potential as all of the other shimmers that I've been working with lately. So let me do that, and then I will be right back. All right, so it sounds like we got a lot of garbage disposal going on outside, but that's okay. I'm just gonna take the time to use the 3 different brushes that I had in different areas on this eye look to kind of blend out that part of the NYX glitter glue, hopefully, and let's go forward. So I think what I want to put on my lid is actually the shade Big Boss Energy. It looks to be like a duochrome, so I'm gonna go ahead and take that and apply that all over my lid. Okay, so accidentally I got the shade to flake off, so quite a bit of it was like falling down, but the actual shade, once applied in a thin layer, looks extremely pretty. There is glitter. I'm just gonna show myself in the sunlight. If my eye, so it's not gonna if it showed in the sunlight, maybe I'll put my ring light on so you guys can see. There's definitely glitter. There's definitely glitter in this lid shade. It's very pretty. I don't necessarily see the duochrome right now, but that might just be because of the lighting that I have on. I don't really have a lot of side lighting on today, as I tend to do during the day. I tend to just focus and use specifically the outside lighting, so that might be playing a factor. But let's go ahead and also put on my inner corner highlight. I'm also just gonna get rid of that. There was a lot of flaking on that shade. So inner corner for today, I think I'm gonna go a little bit more subtle, or actually no, let's go big. It is Misunderstood. So this is the whiter toned. I think this also again is kind of supposed to be a duochrome, and it's gonna come off as a light lime green, and it does. It does. It comes off as a light lime green. And I will zoom in. Let me just work on my lower lash line really quickly. From my vantage point, there is absolutely no difference between, okay, sorry, so my camera cut off when I was in the middle of talking to you guys about the two lid shades, and I just figured I'd just go ahead and work on my lower lash line and then come back and just kind of finish my conversation. So what I was saying is that, to me, the difference between Misunderstood and Big Boss Energy in this lighting, in this context, is nothing. Is nothing. So that's a bit disappointing. I would have hoped for it to be even slightly lighter or slightly more textured or sparkly or something. I'm sure I will find some difference at some point there, but really I don't see any difference at all, which is, like I said, slightly disappointing. So let's go ahead and finish up the rest of my makeup really quickly. I'm gonna go ahead and throw on my Bite lip liner in 04. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and throw on the shade. Then I'm gonna go ahead and throw on the shade from Marc Jacobs and Editrix. I'm not gonna fully put that on my lips because it's a thicker product, and I'm so used to these thinner products right now that, yeah, I'm just not going to do it to myself. I am going to make sure my lip line is perfect though. I'm going to be doing some final touches off camera really quickly, and then I will come on camera to show you guys the finished look, of course, but also kind of talking about all of the products that I put on my face today that were new. So give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Okay guys, so I just wanted to give you guys an up close and personal view of the eye look. Yeah, this is a up close and personal view. While we're here, we might as well look at everything else. Here is the base. It's looking. I can get rid of the bangs for you guys to see up top. It's looking pretty good. So yeah, let me zoom out. Oh my gosh, readjust the wig, and we'll talk about all the items. Okay, so let's run down the items and we can talk about them. So first, with the NYX, the brow glue, I did not find that this really glued down my brows as much as she was necessarily raving for her brows. I do want to try and maybe use this particular brow gel after I already filled them in. Maybe that's the thing that I'm doing wrong, and why it just did not really necessarily keep my brows in the spot that I had brushed them with this product. But I'm not mad. At the end of the day, I will need a new brow gel after I finish my ABH one, which I am only going to assume it's going to probably just take me like a couple of months. So not super mad, but like, yeah, I want to see the proof in the pudding. Then we have the Vision creams. So this was clearly a mess of gargantuan proportions. Okay, let's face it. And I will say this, I think that the actual product looks really good on the skin. I would say only use one layer of whatever the shade is that you think will work for you. Once you start applying layers, it starts to look a little thick. Thankfully, I do have a setting spray, so I think that it allowed all of that product, the powder, everything, to kind of just push into my skin a little bit more than how it had looked after I applied everything. And I think for all intents and purposes, what was the shade? The N09 isn't terrible. I would probably prefer the N08 just for my kind of more skin tone right now. N09 I think would work for pretty much spring, summer, all of that. But in the winter, I think I would be a little bit more 08. I will be testing more of this product. And then as for the lighter of the two, I think it's fine. I think if I ever do go ahead and make this splurge to pick up one of these products, I would not pick it up anticipating to really get a lot of highlighting areas with another cream product. Like, so I wouldn't pick up one for a concealer and one for a foundation. I would just pick up one for a foundation. I don't think the concealer aspect really worked the way normal concealer works, you know. I think it definitely concealed that area, don't get me wrong, but I don't think it necessarily highlighted and also blended in all that well with the darker shade. I think it just kind of covered up the darker shade, which is not necessarily what I go for when it comes to concealer. I like for just a little bit of highlighting because I don't really have under eye circles, darkness, or anything like that. When we're going to the cream bronzer, I think this cream bronzer really blended in nicely to the foundation. That said, I don't think this bronzer should necessarily go with that foundation because of the fact that that foundation is so high coverage, and this one I think is more of a medium coverage type bronzer. I will be excited to try this more with the level of foundation that I typically wear, so I will be definitely going in and getting some more opinions and critiques on this product. So far I think the shade is really nice, and I think the formula is really nice, so that's good. As for my Natasha Denona eyeshadow base, I think this is a really nice eyeshadow base. I've now used it 2 times. I haven't had a problem either time. When I used it the first time, I did compare it with my MAC paint pot, and I really liked how the eye look came out with this side more than the MAC paint pot. Obviously today I used it on both sides. I am also testing out a new eyeshadow, but not a new eyeshadow formula, so I don't know. I think the overall look came together, but I'm concerned with the eyeshadow product, so I want to try this again with an eyeshadow either palette or formula that I know a lot better than this particular formula, so I can just determine whether I like this overall. But so far I'm liking it. I like the color because I do like a lighter base like this sometimes, but I also do like the blendability, the coverage, all of that, so good things. I forgot the cream blush from ABH. I really do like it. I like the formula so far. I like the color. I think it did a really good job today. No, you weren't going to see it like full boom, but this was not a shade that I expected it to be full boom on my complexion. I just wanted it to be a more neutral color, and I think this will be really easy to slot in as an everyday cream blush to go hand in hand with my powder Project Pan blush. So that I'm really excited for that product, and I hope to get quite a bit of use out of it this year. Finishing up the blushes, the Lethal Cosmetics blush. I already knew that I enjoyed this blush. I think I enjoy it even more with a cream base under because it gives it some luminosity and some life to it. Not saying that this powder doesn't, because I would consider this more of like, maybe more of a satin type blush. It's not luminous. It's not a full-on matte. It does have some life to it, but I think I just prefer it with a base under. So I'm really happy with using this blush a little bit more. I will be now transferring it to more of a one of my other kind of face palettes that I already have filled with other shades. I just, you know, I just put it aside when I was testing it out in this little small one. But either way, I'm liking it so far. And last, and maybe not necessarily least, we have the Colored Rain Rebellious Nude palette. I don't know. I don't know. I definitely need to take some more time with this palette. I don't know. I did not like the different blend between this. It looked really weird. I'm going to clean my brushes today. It's going to happen. I already have a movie that I'm in the middle of watching. I'm going to play that while I'm cleaning my brushes. It's going to happen, and then I'm going to reach for this palette again. I want to make sure that the weird blending really was this palette and not necessarily my brushes. I felt like I still saw it on this eye, but not as extreme as I saw it on this eye. So I will take the time to go through it again. Otherwise, I will say this Grown Up Things shade, it came off to me a little bit more burgundy than warm brown. The Do What I Want, I really like that. That is the one standout. I love that shade. The Who Gonna Check Me, that is a really nice black. I will say that. Very nice dark deep black. The Big Boss, it looks duochrome in the pan. I don't see it on my eyes, but I will stay tuned to be paying attention obviously to my eyes all today, and I will be doing a review on this palette in the roundup, so stay tuned for that. And then just the difference between the Big Boss and the Misunderstood, I don't see a difference. I really don't. Once again, I will be looking for a difference throughout the day, and because I am filming this a couple of days early actually, if I find any differences in the makeup and how it wears, I will go ahead and leave a pinned comment. It may not be up within the first hour because typically when these videos go live, I'm actually in the gym, but I will do my best to give you guys a pinned comment at some point the day that this airs so that you guys can know. Overall, you know, standout products I would say really are the ABH creams. And I really do like the Danessa Myricks foundation. It's just a lot of coverage for me for an everyday look, if that makes sense. So that's it. That's all I got for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.